Hello. Yeah, welcome. Today, well, I'm talking about Mumbai Indians. Are you a Mumbai Indians fan? What do you think? Are they on the right track? Are they not? I don't mean are they on the right track, losing a couple of games that they've played. I mean, do you think that they've got it kind of figured out, as in who's their best team, who are the candidates that would essentially allow them to win games. Do you remember last season, um, where it was very much a case of, oh, how many are they going to lose on the bounce? That was at the beginning of the season. Many then said, oh, these big teams can be slow starters and they can then figure it out. And if they figure it out, they'll kind of be back on track, absolutely no problem. Their main problem, I believe, is that they have a certain Jasprit Bumrah who's not available to them for the season, and I know that only addresses one side of things in that it's about just the bowling, but it's such a big miss. I mean, I was looking forward to a scenario where Jasprit Bumrah as well as um, Jofra Archer would play together. And if they can play together, then all of a sudden that side looks entirely different. Because not only are you looking towards batters to then sort things out for you, you actually will win games, many games, with the ball if you have those two in tandem and kind of then build your bowling attack around them. I guess that would have been the thinking when it came to the auction, taking Jofra Archer, who was injured last season, and knowing that they would have him this season, and the knowledge of that would have said, right, pay the big bucks, and then imagine these two when they're together, and that's seemingly not going to happen. Even though he's there as well, missed their last game, bit of injury, elbow injury. Um, I think it's a problem for them. I think it's a big problem. Then their main man, when it comes to the batting side of things, is Surya Kumar Yadav and Sky. So often you've said, actually, not in IPL, that you'd say, oh, Sky's not in any form at all. That's the scenario this time round. It's not to suggest that you'd probably put him on the sidelines. I don't think that you would. I think you keep him going and you try and have a scenario where he comes back to form. What you don't want is a scenario where everybody at the same time is kind of not going as they should. Big buys. What happens when you buy big? You got to make sure that those people are on the park, right? And that's kind of the scenario. My question to everybody, and I guess it would be to the Mumbai Indians as well, is do they know what their best 11 is? Um, I guess without injuries, and I'm including Bumrah in this, they can fill in a few names straight away. But then, what you ought to know when it comes to a season like IPL is, should any of those get injured, and normally you wouldn't expect that it'd be at the same time, but if they did get injured, would you have your replacements? Who are your replacements? Can you identify them? And do they keep you just about as potent? I say just about because you have a Jofra Archer, you're not going to have a next person who's going to be just as potent. You have a Jasprit Bumrah, you're not going to have a next person who is just as potent because these guys are superstars. You have Rohit Sharma, who's the captain, big figure. If he gets injured and has to go out, you don't have somebody else who will kind of not only fill in the batting, but will also make sure that the captaincy and the leadership part of it is okay. And that's the way I think the recruitment's got to go. You got to make sure that if the guys you have bought, the guys you have to make up your first 11 are not available, or the key ones are not, you have able replacements in hand on the bench to make sure they can come in and they can do the job. I wonder this season if the Mumbai Indians, the sleeping giant, if you can put it that way, can actually awaken. It's early days, but it's not looking good, especially if some of their players, big players, do not get fit or cannot stay fit for a large part of the season. I hope that it's not going to be one of those seasons like last season, where at the back end they're kind of playing games for pride once again. 2 seasons in a row. Whew, that would be a lot. Who's your first 11 in as far as the Mumbai Indians are concerned? Let me know.